Today is the World TB Day, and as the medical people in Kenya say, TB inatiba, meaning TB is treatable. What a better way to hear it from the horse mouth itself. I remember when I was 36 years old, my uncle, Paul Washira, told me that the sister whom I follow had inherited TB from our mother in the mother-to-child transmission. That is when I told my uncle Washira that it was not only my sister, the firstborn, whom I follow, but I also had contracted TB, and obviously it was from my mother. I was too young to know how I contracted it, and you know TB also in some areas, hot areas, it is more, it comes out than in average areas. So it came to manifest itself in 1969 when I was in Standard 2. I remember after a few visits to the hospital, Kajiado District Hospital, it was decided that I be taken to Machakos Provincial General Hospital for an X-ray picture. Those days, the Eastern Provincial General Hospitals in Machakos, Eastern had various, you see, the provincial police headquarters was in Isiolo, provincial administration was in Embu, and the provincial hospital was in Machakos, but later they all converged in one place. So Kajiado being near Machakos, I was to be taken to Machakos Provincial General Hospital for medication. I remember my mother gave me 2 shillings. Something tells me it was 5 shillings because it was a note. My mother gave me 5 shillings, of which was for me to use. And then I was just with the driver, Land Rover driver, me, a Standard 2 child, with all the way from Kajiado to Athi River to Machakos. What I did not know is that the driver had been given money by the hospital. My mother gave me the 5 shillings for feeding on the way, but again the driver had also been given money. So we went to Machakos Provincial General Hospital. My X-ray was taken, and on our way back he took me to a hotel and bought food. You know, I thought it was his money, but later I learned it is impressed that he had been given. I remember I tried to buy things using my money and he refused, and the following days in school I was loaded. At that time, 1969, I was given so many medications. My room was like a small pharmacy, and I had so many injections that I would beat. There was a book where I would go to the hospital, Kajiado District Hospital. For over 2 months, I never went to school. I would go to the hospital, they stamp there the dates, and then I go to the injection room, I take injection. Remember one day, my mother found me with a red big biro. I was really beaten. I think that is one of the only 3 or 4 times my mother has ever beaten me. And it was because she claimed that I used not to take injections, and I would use that red big biro to mark, but I never did that. And I kept it. Later the sickness even developed, and I had to move out of Kajiado because of TB. But I was later cured, completely cured, to an extent that when I was joining the police force, I only had sight problems. As a welder in Nairobi Technical, my eyesight was not so good. So I did a trick. I don't want to go out of the topic, but when I was being examined, there's somebody who took long, so I crammed the letters. The first letter in eye test is usually 1, the second one there are 2, 3. So I said the first one is D, and I said it so quickly that I passed that. But when it came to all other medical, including TB, I was found not to be having TB. And then I had to undergo Kiganjo course, and I had even to undergo GSU training school in consecutively. Complete the whole 6 months in Kiganjo, then undergo an almost 3 months tougher course at GSU training school in Magadi, and the TB never manifested itself. So briefly, TB in Atiba.